Yello everybody, my name is Real PBDN, and in my last video I talked how I was back from the cruise, but in this one I wanted to talk about the time, actually it was on this boat, that I almost fell overboard. And no, before you're thinking, I was completely sober, so don't worry about that. I didn't even have the right card to do that. I mean, one of my friends, just one of them, had the parental consent to buy anything that would have made us not completely there all the time, but I didn't do any of that because I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. Anyway, so here's what's happening. They have this ropes course, right? And you get harnessed up, you get strapped up, and you basically just walk on ropes and stuff. It's all above the boat, and I'll get to that in a second. But me and my friends were like, oh yeah, let's do that today. That sounds like a lot of fun. So we're like, all right, yeah, let's go on the ropes course. So me and like 15 other people got together, and we get in line as soon as this thing opens. It opens at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. And when you're on vacation, that's pretty early for me because I don't get up until like noon at the latest. Or at the earliest, I should say, at the earliest. So that was pretty hard for me, but I ate breakfast, everything was all good, and I'm wearing shorts and a tank. And we wait in line, and this line is going super slow because they only have a certain amount of harnesses, and they're all different sizes. They don't, like, adjust. They're, like, it's, like, that size. I mean, they adjust to, like, tighten to your body, but they're, like, certain sizes you can, like, your spine size. Obviously, they can't adjust that. So we were waiting in line, and this took, like, 30, 45 minutes, somewhere around there. And we finally get to the front, and they're like, oh, you can't be wearing a tank. You have to have sleeves. And half of us were wearing tanks. So we were like, can we save our spot? And he's like, no, you're going to have to go back to your room and get back in line. So we're pretty mad at this point. I was like, you're kidding. But we're like, it's on vacation. We're not going to let us get this down. This just gives us a perfect opportunity to go to that 24-hour ice cream machine. So we went to the ice cream machine, got ourselves some ice cream, and then we walked back to our room, quickly changed on and put some sleeves on, and then we went back up to the course. So now we're waiting in line again, and this one, there was more people there because it wasn't like right in the morning. So now it's probably like 11:30. So we're waiting. This one took at least an hour to get back up to the front. And you know what happened when we get back up to the front? The guy tells us, half the girls are wearing too short of shorts because I don't know, it's against regulation? I don't freaking know. So we had to go back and change again. And we tried holding our spot, but they told us that we had to get out of line. So the guys had to go back to the end. Oh my god. So now we lost, I don't know, like at almost 2 hours of my day already, just waiting in this stupid line for something that we couldn't even do. So the girls finally change and they come back, and then we get in line for a third freaking time, and this one took just as long as the second time. It was around an hour to get up to the front. We finally get up to the front. All my friends are getting harnessed up, and they're getting back like giant harnesses, and they're putting on the people behind me. So the people in my group are getting harnessed in, and then there's people behind me, like the little kids for the little harnesses, and then the bigger people, like the bigger people for the big harnesses. So the smaller harnesses were gray, and then green was the middle size, and then blue was the biggest size. And we all needed green, which was the middle size, because we were like the teens. So I'm waiting there, and all my other friends are getting harnessed up, and I'm still waiting to get harnessed. And I'm like, bro, what's going on here? Why am I not getting harnessed? And all my friends now, all of them, I don't know if I said that, but all of them got harnessed up, and they go around the corner, which like is to get in line to the actual thing, because they're set, they're ready to go, and I still don't have a harness, and they're still harnessing people behind me, and they're pulling people up from behind me to go on. I'm like just chilling there, and he's like, oh yeah, we don't have enough harnesses for you. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I just saw this woman that was like taller than me and wider than me, mind you, take off a gray harness, so obviously the gray harness would have fit me. But he's like, no, you need a green harness. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So anyway, actually, that didn't even happen. I'm still waiting for this, and this guy comes off, and it's a bigger dude, and he was wearing a blue harness, which is a big size, and the guy called me over, he's like, you wait long time, you get blue harness. I'm like, okay, is this going to be safe? And he's like, yeah, it'll be fine. So he puts it on me, and it's pretty loose, but I mean, he tightened it the best he could, but I was feeling a little clunky and big with it. So anyway, we go up to the thing, and we start doing the ropes, and there's this plank that goes off like the side of the boat. And then at the very end of this plank-like thing, there was a little blue like lever thing, and if you pulled that lever, if you were brave enough, and you could fight the wind, because granted, our boat is going at least like 25 miles an hour in the water, and then we're super high up in the air. We were on deck 16. We were on deck 17, and then this thing is like 2 decks higher, so we were on deck 19 practically. Even though there wasn't a deck 19, we were as high as you can go. So there's no wind resistance because you're all the way up there. And the wind is coming at you with at least 20 miles an hour, because that's where we're going, and then it's blowing because you're super high up. So they said that the wind gusts, it was about 50 miles an hour that day. So you're fighting 50 mile an hour wind gusts while you're like off the side of the boat with no wind resistance, trying to pull a lever with one hand so you can get your picture taken, just so I can prove to my parents that I did this. Now, what I wasn't told when I went up there is that the plank, it moves. It moves. It's like held onto at the base, and then it'll just like rock and creak left and right, and like it changes its angles basically with the boat. It changes the angles. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know how else to say it, but I was at the very end, and the very end, like, trying to take my picture. Of course, that's the part that's going to move the most, because it's general science, is that the end of the thing is going to move the most. The furthest away from the angle, the pivoting part, that's going to move the most. So I'm all the way out there, right? I'm about ready to pull my picture, to take my picture, and the thing freaking moves. And I was not expecting that, because I was not ready for it. So I'm not even holding onto my harness. I'm reaching up for the thing to take my picture, and it moves, and I lose my footing, and I fall, and I am freaking out at this point because I'm wearing a harness that's too big for me. It rides up to me and like it's like pulling me tight on places I don't want to be held tight in, and I'm just dangling off the side of the boat, and I'm like, oh my freaking god, what am I doing right now? What is going on? How am I? What? The one thing that I could remember in this situation was, I hope this guy gave me the right harness. I hope he tightened me tight enough. And I look up, and the thing is, it's on there, and I'm like, oh god, dude, I'm still alive. I'm just dangling there. So I wasn't even able to pull myself up right away. And this thing, like, I wasn't able to catch myself on the thing because I was, like, off to the side. So the plank was, like, a little off to my side, and it was about belly button height. It was, like, above my hips. So I fell down pretty far. So anyway, when I finally regained my composure, I was able to grab, it took about, like, 10 seconds of just dangling there. I was like, okay, I'm fine. They started sending workers, but I was all good. So I grabbed the harness thing, and I just kind of like pulled myself back up, and I got back on the plank, took the picture after that, and then got off. And I got off the plank, but I still played around in the ropes course for a little bit. But my heart was pretty much pounding after that, and I kind of wanted to get off, but I wanted to do something just because I waited so long. I waited 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I don't know. So I really wanted to get actual like time out of, I wanted to not make it a waste, I guess. So anyway, that's my story of almost dying, almost getting lost. Some other person got thrown off the boat. Not this one, but a different cruise line, and they said that it took the boat 6 miles to turn around, make a complete U-turn. So I wasn't about to try and tread water for 6 hours. I guess that was just a turnaround. Then they would have to drive back. So I wasn't about to do that. I'm not about that life. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I cannot talk today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure glad I'm alive. I didn't actually fall in the water, so that's always a positive. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Be advised, multiple hostile care packages inbound. Hostile UAV spotted. Empty exhausted. End this now.
Just keep it moving. Come on, boys. Come on.
Hostile counter UAV
Come on.
inbound. Radar is down.
Keep it moving. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Why? He's walking backwards. How am I supposed to win now? He literally walked backwards. We just lost. My robot was walking backwards. How did that even... Ugh. He was literally walking backwards. Oh my god. Oh my god. What do you mean the robot was malfunctioned?
Going underground.
You never stood a damn chance.
Yeah, because you